Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We're going to jump into our test review because exam 2 is going to be due on the 18th by end of day. So this is your initial review. Then we'll take a look at the course schedule and go over a little bit more there. But I'm going to go ahead and do the review now. So get a pen and paper and be ready to understand the following terms just to make sure we're all on the same page for our test. Know what a patient bill of rights is. What is a patient bill of rights? Know what respondeat superior is. We've used that term a few times. All right. Know a little bit about, the differences in licensed professionals across the medical office. Who's licensed, who's not licensed, non-licensed, that kind of stuff. Like from a perspective of employment. All right. Know about liability. Who's liable for their employees? Is it the organization, the physicians? How does that work? Vicariously liable. What does that mean? Know about OSHA. OSHA rules and regulations. It's not something we mention a lot, but it's something that's important. OSHA, O-S-H-A. Know a little bit about state legislators and legislators in comparison to federal, right? And then on top of that, make sure you know the 3 branches of government from the federal level. All right, know what you have to report to the government in regards to, like, say for example, you go in and you have a birth, that has to be reported to the federal government. Know the other things that have to be reported, like deaths, diseases. Know what the difference between Medicare and Medicaid is. What is the EEOC? The EEOC. Know the difference between a plaintiff and a defendant. All right. Know what the preamble and the amendments to the Constitution are. What is common law? Common law. We talked a little bit about the branches of government. Make sure you understand those. There's a few questions on that. What about the statute of limitations? What is the statute of limitations? Malpractice. What is malpractice? What does that mean? All right. There's a couple of true or false here that could be a little bit tricky. You just have to read through them. Know what negligence is? Negligence. What is PHI? What is PHI and what does that stand for? All right. Know the HIPAA privacy and security rules. HIPAA privacy and security. Know what HIPAA is in general. There's a bunch of questions on HIPAA. HIPAA. What is autonomy? Make sure you understand what autonomy is. What is community-based research? Something random that's in there. Community-based research is a true or false question. So I want to make sure you get ahead of the game there. What about conflict of interest? Know what conflict of interest is? A conflict of interest. How about length of stay? What is length of stay? It's something that's mentioned in the text. Length of stay. Know what length of stay is. All right. That is a pretty decent review for exam 2. There are multiple choice, true or false, essay, and I think there's a few short answers. So not a lot of short answers, mostly essay, true or false, and multiple choice. Obviously the majority is multiple choice. All right, let's hop over to the course schedule and talk about that. A little bit of information about, of course, our last few weeks. This says 1 through 11. It's not 1 through 11. It's going to be mainly 1 through 9. Your comprehensive final is going to be lessons 1 through 11. I'm not sure why it says that, but I'll make that change and edit that onto Blackboard. But from that perspective, just make sure that you get exam 2 finished by the 18th, and then right after that we jump into module 10, and then we have, of course, our final exam, which is due on the 29th. So when you look at the course schedule, it's going to run together a little bit. So this is going to be due on the 18th, and our test is going to be due on the 26th. So we'll open module 10, and then we'll, of course, quickly open probably about midweek the final exam. So it's going to be pretty quick in the last couple of weeks, but we'll get through it together. I'll make this change. It's not supposed to say 1 through 10. So, all right, let me head over to the course over to the course content so I can show you the test. A reminder, here's the test. It's open now. It's going to be due on the 18th. The password is PTA 2026, all caps. So that'll be in the announcement as you're watching this video. But make sure you have Lockdown Browser installed. We've went through this before. Download Lockdown Browser. You can't have 2 tabs open at the same time, but it is open book. You have 2 hours to complete the exam. It's 30 questions, and of course we already went through the case by case the review, so you should be good there. But other than that, you guys are going to do a great job on this exam. Should be good to go. Only thing due this week, again, it's kind of a fast pace after this to get through to the final exam, but other than that, you guys are well on your way to knocking this course out of the park with a great grade. Reach out if you need any questions. I look forward to grading your exam, and I'm looking forward to seeing how great you do. Thanks so much.